Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Saturday Night Live. Well, not the Saturday Night Live, but my Saturday Night Live. And super excited to be here. And I'm trying to get our Instagram on here. And I think we're on. I think, I'm hoping, I was praying that we were going to be on. Let me try this one more time. Hang on, everybody. I can't believe that we still have that issue with Instagram. I don't know why it does it, but it does. It just does it. And I did it last time, and I don't know how to do it this time, and it's not working. But anyway, I'm going to work on that real quick since there's just a couple of you on here. So give me a quick moment to get this on because I know that we're here. We're live, right? Yeah, it's live. It's live. Hi, Beverly. Hi, David Merrick. Okay, I don't know why that I'm not seeing myself on here. So let me try this again and see if I can do it in a different way. So I can, there we go. I see it now. Okay, excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for being here. Guess what? There are no guests today. You guys are my guests. You all are my guests. So come on in, say hello, and let's see who is here. Thank you, Beverly, for being here and David for being here. And I don't know what happened because maybe I did something wrong. I don't think so, but we'll see. We'll see. I did a little mistake, you guys. Did a little mistake. I put the wrong time in here and then I try to change it. So I'm hoping that everybody knows that I'm on live now. I hope. I just hope. Nicholas Ray Music, hello. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you being here. So let me ask you, today's talk is all about, it's about transformation within community. I'm going to ask you a very difficult yet challenging question. Hi, Rose. Do you feel supported when you reach out for help? Hey, Melissa, do you feel supported when you reach out for help? And another good question is, do you ask for the help that you need? Do you ask for the help that you need? Because if we don't reach out, if we don't ask for the support, nobody knows. I can't tell you how many people are like, you're so busy, I don't want to bother you. Well, email me, text me, I'll let you know if I'm busy, right? So if we're thinking about somebody, do you send them a text? Do you call them up and say, I was just thinking about you? Just curious. How many of you do that? How many of you think of somebody and you just automatically will text them or you'll call them? How many of you think of somebody and, ready? Old school, old school. How many of you will go ahead and send them a note? Send them a card. Maybe you are looking at a funny card at the grocery store and it makes you think of that person. Are you sending them a little thank you? Are you sending them, I'm thinking about you? Christiana, hello, thank you for being here. Amber, thank you for being here. Claybo 27, thank you for being here. And for those of you that don't know David Merrick Real Estate LLC, please go follow him at David Merrick Real Estate LLC. He believes everything is Memorex. So this is real. It is real. Thank you, David Merrick. So I shoot a text, okay? Beverly says, I will text them. What about you guys on Facebook? What do you think? And YouTube, what do you do? Do you pick up the phone? It's really important, everybody. Community. We're going to get on a little touchy subject here. Many of you, I don't need to know how you voted, But many of you in today's world feel challenged, whatever line you're on. And here's the thing, shouldn't matter what line we're on. We should be United States. And I did say the should word, United States. So to transform our feelings of positivity, hate never solved the problem. But if we can do something to shift, to be inclusive in community and feeling instead of feeling like an outsider. I can't tell you how many times I feel outside of the box sometimes. It's where I operate from, outside of the box. But it feels really good to have people that support, people that respect, people that connect to me on some sort of level. I feel valued. Hi, Kim Spencer. I feel valued. I feel heard. I feel seen. And isn't that what we all want to do? Is feel heard and seen, as long as we're doing it from kindness. We're doing it from kindness, everyone. Amanda says, yep, this is what I meant when I'm saying it. I know what is wrong. Okay. And Diane, there's Diana and Diane. Diane and Diana. Diane, hello. Thanks for being here. You don't have to say my last name. I know, but it's like right there. It's right there, Kim. It says Kim Spencer 662. I just gotta. It's like I know too many Kims, trust me. I know a lot of Kims. But what's one little thing that you guys can do to transforming community? What's one little thing that you could do? Hey Beth, what's one little thing that you could do to shift community, to make your own change within community? Here's something really simple. Are you ready for this? What about just saying hello? It's a challenge. What happens if you can say hello when you get on an elevator? Oh my God, it's an elevator. You're not supposed to say anything. You're so compact in like a tight space, and it's like, oh. When I was younger, when my mom was still alive, when she would get on an elevator, she would always say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And then when they would leave, God forbid if we were the last floor, the top floor, right? When anybody would get off the elevator, my mom would tell them, have a good day, have a good evening, have a beautiful day. It was just always so, when I was younger, I'm like, oh my God, don't say anything. Don't say anything, Mom. And now I find myself doing the same thing. I feel like a smile goes a long way. Yes. Melissa says, give sincere compliments. So true. Show kindness to a neighbor. Yes, yes, yes. Keegan, good to see you. Thanks for being on here. Hey, we're talking about transforming community. What's one thing that you could do, Keegan? One thing that you could do to spread love without shoving it down someone's throat, right? Because there are a lot of people out there that, and you all know who I mean. There's a lot of people that are like, love, 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 love. It's like, all right, hold off, simmer down now. Sometimes we need a little spoonful, right? We don't need a whole huge tablespoon, because we have to ask if the person needs support. We have to ask them. That's what building community is all about. Like the insurance commercial is about how not to become your parents. Yes, exactly. Exactly. So what can we do that would shift, right? And here's one of our youngest ones on the social media. Joining charities is a pretty good one. I'm actually planning on doing myself. Excellent. It's a great one. Hey, Michelle. Good to see you. Isabel, hello. Amanda says, I open up the door first and say hi to strangers every day, but only at work. All right. So here's a challenge to do it at the grocery store. How many of you hold the door open for people? Those are the simple kindness, guys, that we are missing in today's society. We're missing that. We're missing the old school values. Now, for those of you who don't know, my mom was born 1909 and my dad was born, I'm sorry, my mom was born 1919. Sorry, mom. My mom was born 1990 and my dad was born 1909, right? That's old school. They would have been 100 and something and 100, I don't know, do the math. But, Emmy says that I hold the door. Great. Hey, Gabriella. Okay, that's good, Isabel. I'm glad you do it. Michelle says, I have conversations with complete strangers all the time. Love it. Ren, now you're over here. Okay, good to see you on here. I always do. I was taught that as a child. I love that. Those are manners that many weren't taught. True, true. Kim says, I give gifts to my neighbor's children. They never say thank you, but I don't care. Okay. So these are the practices that transform community. Do you guys realize that? That these little things can shift how we are? Melissa says, good Catholics are afraid that none will appear if we don't hold the door open for the next person. Those wooden rulers hurt. You're cute, Melissa. You're cute. I let people merge in traffic. I know. And I have to tell you guys this. Here in Washington State, it's not very common. And in Oregon, too, when I go across the bridge and go into Portland, it's not very common that people like wave thank you when you let them in. Now, in Chicago, you would think they wouldn't do it. In Chicago, they did all the time. Especially some of the people that didn't, I was like, give the Greek eyebrow to. But it's important. We have to go back to these simple ways of communicating kindness. And when we do, we're going to feel a shift in that community. This month's theme was all about transformation, how you can transform energetically, how you transform your thinking, how you shift yourself and then see how it shifts others. So, when I lived in Florida, it wasn't common. Oh, wow. Wow. That's odd. I would think that with all the elderly in Florida, that would be different, right? Different. Cheers, everybody. Water with this, I don't know if I like this stir droplet. This one's fruit punch. It's a little bit too sweet. Lou, hey Lou, good to see you. Amber, you're in Naples? Is that where you're at? Because my good friend lives in Naples, and I'm going to go visit her before I have my retreat that I'm doing with Beth Arglash. Beth Arglash and I are going to do a retreat the weekend after Valentine's Day in Fort Lauderdale. Oh no, in Ohio. Oh, I'm sorry, Amber. That's right. You were in Ohio. Ohio. Right. Okay. So do me a favor. I want you to think about a time that community shifted. Hi, Connie. I can feel your glare, Connie. I can feel. I can, I can feel your glare. Hey, look, I'm in the over 60 group. I am now becoming the elderly. Isn't that scary? Keegan's like the real young one. I am now becoming, well, because what I was talking about, Connie, was that old school values, those of us that are 60 and over, 50 and over, I would say 50 and over, learn those old school values, right? So, it's just sad to see them go. Do you know that my dad used to wear a hat when he would work downtown Chicago? He would wear a hat, like a I don't know, what do you call those hats? I don't know what you call them anymore. But like a hat, like they wore in the 40s, right? He wear a hat. And my dad used to tip his hat and hold the door open for women downtown. Always a tip of the hat. Isn't that fascinating? You don't see that anymore unless you watch an old movie, right? The old movies like the Ginger Rogers, Fred Astaire type movies. Doesn't have to be a musical all, but Ren says when I moved to Houston, I had to make sure that I always said thank you and please. Not that I did in Illinois, but Houston, it's a must. Yeah. Like a fedora. Yes. Thank you, Annette. Thank you for being here. I'm 46, but my pap wear those hats and I love them. I know. Yeah. Right. Hi, Lori. Um, what could you guys do this week to transform your community? What's one tiny little thing that you haven't done before that you can do to shift community? I remember I wanted to do it and I didn't. I was going to buy a dozen roses and put a rose in front of everybody's door in the apartment building that I lived in on my floor. And I was like going to do it. And I didn't. I chickened out. That was like in my late 20s. I didn't know what I know now, right? But I'm like, what are people going to think? What are they going to do? We're so worried about judgment. But when it comes from a place of love, how can you judge love? Kim says I'm going to be nice to the kids on trick or treat night. Okay. How can you shift love? How can you belittle love? Love is love, right? You can't poo-poo it. Isabel says donate to the food pantry. That's a great idea. Donate for the food pantry. I feel like that's why we're here. Love. Yeah, it is. Do you know that love is the strongest emotion that we have? And for those of you that know that I do the psychic medium stuff, when you cross over, you don't bring your anger, you don't bring your pity, you don't bring your bitchiness. All that crosses over with you when you die is love. That's all that's allowed up there is love. So when we go back, we're wrapped up in love. What happens? What happens? We let the outside world tell us something different. We let the outside world tell us something different. Who cares what people think? As long as you do it from a place of kindness, right? Again, it doesn't mean that you're shoving it down someone's throat. Like if you want to go ahead and change them, right? Or fix them, can't do that. Do you need my support? Do you need to vent? Do you need me just to listen? What do you need from me? Different. You should do this. You should do this. And you shoulda, and shoulda. You're shoulding all over the place, right? Yes. Delisha Dixon. Hello. Thanks for being here. Hey, Dorothy. Pay for someone's coffee. That's always a nice one. That's a good one. Ren says, I teach first semester freshmen. These are the hardest classes to teach, but they are rewarding and heartbreaking at the same time. That's a challenge. I hated, and I will say that word hated. High school was not a good time for me. Was not a good time. I think what God, the universe, spirit did was I found friends outside of school. I had a couple friends in school, but outside of school, I was pushed down a flight of stairs, junior high and high school. Um, Not a good time for me. Not a good time for me. But thank God for community theater when I was a freshman and a sophomore and a junior and a senior. Loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. It was my saving grace. And that was people from all over the place, all different ages. And I had the best time. Chicagoland Theatrical Troupe was one of the places. And then I did Grease, the musical, at Theater on the Lake, and then also in Jefferson Park. So Jefferson Park and Theater on the Lake twice. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And that helped a lot. But it shifted where I am today. Those experiences, everyone, shift you to see who you are, to mold you so you can spread something different later, right? I believe everything happens to us for a reason. And my experiences that I had, the good, bad, and the ugly, all have helped me to help others. So let's spread the love this week. Let's spread some love. Let's do it. All right. So transforming your community. Do it from a place of love. I'm gonna pick a card for all of you. Okay. And then I'm gonna make some announcements. And I appreciate you being here. I really do. Thank you for being here. So look at this. Look at this card that I got. Look at that, you guys. Peace. Isn't that what we're trying to do? We're trying to find the peace. The peace has to come from within. It has to come within. These are beautiful cards. These are from Denise Lynn Soul Coaching. They're oracle cards. They're just great. She has many wonderful decks. She has been around for, I can't tell you how many years. She's a Hay House author. She's an amazing woman. I'm so grateful for her to be one of the judges that allowed me to win the speaker program. And she told me, she said, I picked you because your video had the most heart in it. And that was really sweet coming from Denise Lynn. So she actually did a testimonial on my website. So just a great, great person, just big heart. And so the wisdom in that woman and her life, what she has gone through. If you haven't heard her story, follow her. She's just an amazing person. All right. So peace. How many of us are looking for peace? Lori says, peace, calm, adventure, fun. That's all I really want. Okay. So if we can find the peace within, we can share it on the outside. Let's do that, right? Let's do that. Couple things, because I don't have a guest on. We're not going to go for the full hour, obviously. I will be on TikTok a little bit later tonight. Maybe it's 5:25 here. So I will probably be on TikTok 8 o'clock at night, which is 8, 9, 10, 11, 11 o'clock Eastern and 10 o'clock Central. So if you want to hop on over to the Tiki Talk, come join me there. On November 11th, everybody, November 11th, get ready for Going Within to Heal. It is my first compilation book. So we have 31 authors, including myself, 31 authors. Here's some of them. Okay. I think some of you saw a little promo, but we're having a book launching. And that book launching is going to happen on 11/11 at, I was going to try and do 11 a.m., but I know people are working. So it'll be 11/11 at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern on here, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And come on in. We're going to do some giveaways. I'm going to give away a session. I'm going to give away some of the books. So come join our launch party. We'll have some of the authors on. Next month, the theme is all about gratefulness. It's all about being grateful. So I'm grateful for these people, and their stories are amazing. So we're going to have on November 8th, we're going to have a woman. She's not in the book, this book, but she'll be in the second book coming up. And hello, Elizabeth Joy. The book is, the next book that's coming up is called Transformation, The Journey from Breakdown to Breakthrough. And her name is Natalie. She'll be on, and we're going to talk about gratefulness and creativity. She also she did a podcast with me on Friday that will be out, I believe, next Friday. So take a look for it. She's amazing. She's amazing. She's also a sensation on the TikTok. But I love this book, Going Within to Heal. May I read something to you guys? May I read this to you? I like to read the foreword if you're okay with that. Okay. So bear with me. Bear with. All right. When we first began this project, I knew the stories would be powerful. What I didn't know was how much they would move me or how clearly I would see myself reflected in the words of others. Each author who said yes to this book brought more than a story. They brought their truth. They brought their scars, their questions, their resilience, and their willingness to be seen not as polished or perfect, but as real. That kind of honesty takes courage, and it also creates connection. You will feel that connection as you turn these pages. Through the details of each journey, though the details of each journey are different, the threads are familiar: loss and renewal, fear and faith, surrender and strength, grief and gratitude. You'll hear how ordinary moments became sacred, how pain opened the door to deepen wisdom, and how each person found their own way back home to themselves. But this book isn't just about them, it's about you. You may find yourself nodding along, recognizing pieces of your own story in theirs. You may feel comfort in knowing you're not alone, and you may discover, as these authors did, that healing is not a single moment. It's a choice we make again and again to turn inward, to listen, and to trust. Why this book? Because we all need reminders that wholeness is possible, that wounds can become wisdom, that the places we feel most broken can become the very places light pours on. And I go on and on. Okay. This book is not a how-to manual. It's an invitation to listen, to reflect, and to find your own truth mirrored in the words of others. Whether you are just beginning your healing journey or continuing along the path, these voices remind you that healing is always possible and the light you seek is already within you. Going Within to Heal is the first volume in the Within series, a trilogy dedicated to healing, transformation, and living fully aligned. So this book, 11/11, the publisher, As You Wish Publishing, gave me a choice of launching 11/4 or 11/11. I'm like, let's do 11/11. How could you not just ask for more excellent date than 11/11? So I'm super thrilled, super, super thrilled. And I adore all these people in this book, right? It's really special because my cousin also wrote a chapter in this book. So I'm really excited for her. She's like, oh my God, I can't. I'm like, yes, you can. You can. So that's the other announcement I'm going to make. If you're interested in writing and you're afraid you can't, but you have a story to tell, send me an email. I'm looking for authors for the second book. We're going to start mid-November. and you have 6 weeks to write 1,300 words. 1,300 words, that's not a lot. It can be up to 1,500, but if you have like 1,400 words, then you have 100 words for your biography. But it has to be more than 1,000 words. And then the rest is your biography. Okay. So super excited. Again, it's called Transformation, the journey from breakdown to breakthrough. There is a cost for the we're going to be in Barnes and Noble, everybody. I'm super excited. We'll be online on Barnes and Noble. And there's some other perks that I can explain about that. So come join me. Come join me if you've wanted to write a chapter and talk about how you went from breakdown to breakthrough and how you have changed. Oh my God, as I live and breathe, she's also a best-selling author. Delora by Design. Oh my goodness. So good to have you on here. So good to have you on here. Yeah, so Delora, text me because I got a little info for you. So text me. Okay. So come join. Next week, like I said, next Saturday, I'm just gonna pop in and say hello, and we might do a little view from the new retreat center in Chicago, the new retreat center from in Chicago, because we'll be on retreat next Saturday. But I want to do a little special hello, so it'll be dinner time. It'll be oh no, wait a second, that's gonna be 7 o'clock because we'll be in Chicago. God, my Chicago accent's coming out. Chicago. um, we'll figure it out. We'll just pop in and say hello, okay, next Saturday. And the following Saturday, we'll be on back to our normal schedule. I'm also going to let you know this. If you guys don't have anything to do for Thanksgiving, I'm going to do my Zoom for the holidays again. So they'll be in the afternoon. So come join me for Zoom for the holidays. We're also going to do something special with community, and that will be on the 14th. So sign up for the email. If you haven't signed up for the email, I only send no more than 2 a month. Okay. Guys, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Again, I'll be on the Tiki Talk in about 2.5 hours. So come join me on the Tiki Talk if you can. And remember, we are here to connect. And when we connect, we educate. And when we educate, we grow. There is unity in community. From my heart to yours. Be well, everybody. And real talk gets real answers. See you soon. Good night. Stay for the outro.